Welcome back to the Box Banter podcast, the best Australian F1 podcast.
Hopefully the only.
Maybe the only. Have you?
I haven't looked.
No, I haven't checked either.
No.
I never even thought of it.
Let's just call it.
Let's
Let's just call it now.
yeah.
The one only, the best.
Yep. Maybe the best in the world. We're getting there.
Hey,
We're getting there.
it's the best one I listen to.
It's the best one I watch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks for joining us, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube. I'm Raymond. Timmy, to my right.
Yes, sir. That's me. Hello.
How's it going? How's your week?
Uh,
What'd you get up to?
That was busy. Busy week.
You're busy.
I didn't get up to what I was supposed to get up to.
Okay.
What we had talked about doing, I didn't do.
Right. So what did you do though this week? How did you spend your week?
I worked.
Sounds about right.
That's about my life. Yeah.
That's all
Worked,
you
went
do.
home, did home things.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
You lead a very interesting life.
I do. This is
Thanks
the
for
highlight.
F1, eh?
This is the highlight.
Look,
Get to come here.
I feel you.
Talk about the worst. Well, I shouldn't say the worst, but one of the toughest categories to watch and enjoy. It's what we focus on.
Yeah. I personally don't like working, so I try to avoid it at all costs.
I'm away.
Yep. You should, take a leaf out of my book.
Yeah.
life
Sometimes
would be a lot better.
I come see you at your work, and we just to take you out of your work environment. The things I do for you.
I appreciate it too, eh? Yeah.
Mm.
It's so great too because you come in your uniform. Yeah, people are starting to know who you are,
Well,
but
good.
for the most part, people think I'm just,
Yeah.
ripping off a
Yeah.
sale,
Yeah.
and then afterwards I'm just like, I fell through. I don't know what happened. He just,
Well,
he's got to check with the missus.
It's a shame because you say you hate
Pussy.
work, but you've recently changed like divisions, and now all the time I go to see you, you're with clients all the time. All of a sudden, you've gone from
Sorry,
being very
I'll have to
much
change that up.
not doing anything.
Yeah,
So now you're quite busy.
I got to go back to like the back of the store. So.
Yeah, you're really affecting my ability to just come and chat to you for 20 minutes and then get on my way.
Yeah, so I'll make the amendments.
Yes,
Rectify
I
that
hope you do.
situation straight away. You're not going to ask what I did during my week?
What'd you do? I'm sure it was very entertaining.
I had a pretty crazy week. Played a lot of video games.
Rub it in.
Yeah. Like I'm really keen for that James Bond game. Have you seen anything or heard about it?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
No.
it looks so good. I cannot wait to play. You know how big of a Bond fan I am. So.
Sure. Yeah.
But it does. I don't know when it comes out. It comes out
Who's your
mid-June.
favorite Bond?
Oh, easily Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Easily.
Is the game Daniel Craig Bond?
No, it's just like a generic
Bond.
white dude.
So he doesn't talk.
No,
Does he have
he's not
lines?
based off like any of the previous Bond actors. He's just
So they're introducing a new Bond
at some point.
in a game. That's what I'm saying. In game form,
Oh right,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
new Bond. He's a different Bond.
Yeah. He's not Daniel Craig Bond or some other
Interesting.
Bond. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Bond?
Well, I'm going to say Daniel Craig because I haven't seen them all.
I was going to say you've
I
only
haven't
seen the
watched-
Daniel Craig ones.
Well, no, I've seen the other ones when I was younger.
Yeah.
Some of them. But the new with time comes better movies. And the new ones, the Daniel Craig ones, were very good.
Yeah, I'd say Sean Connery was my second favorite Bond,
Okay.
like the original Bond.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, that's not out yet. So I've just been. Have you heard of this game called Stardew Valley?
No.
Okay.
You know my game like limitations are pretty much what you.
I'm really sad.
What you
I'm
told
really
me to
sad
play.
about that. Like we used to be
play. Yeah.
hardcore grinding gamers, and now you just don't have time for
Yeah,
anything fun.
we would play surface level games together.
This podcast really has taken away a lot of time from our online gaming.
It has, yeah.
When was the last time we had a Halo sesh? Like that was.
You should probably take that up with.
Don't bring it up.
Ubisoft.
Don't bring it up because
They're the
I'll
reason.
start crying. I'll start
They're the
tearing
reason
up.
we don't play Halo anymore.
Hang
Not
on.
us, it's them.
Ubisoft.
Or
Nice try. You took a swing. But
Bungie. Whoever.
Well, okay. So now we're going back 10 years. All right. So
Whoever it is.
you're making it worse.
Yeah.
Anyway,
3-4-3. 3-4-3.
This game, Stardew Valley, has me in a
Tell me, it's
chokehold.
3-4-3, am I right?
Well, it was 3-4-3.
So
Yes,
who's in
they arguably ruined the franchise.
So who's in it?
Now it's Halo Studios.
Oh, see,
So-
you know what? Blame all of them
Yeah.
because it's them, not us.
Yeah. So anyway, that game's got me on a chokehold. I've clocked an insane amount of time on that game. I will not disclose because it's embarrassing.
Someone who works virtually a part-time job, amount of gaming
I
time.
told you I work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't judge.
You-
I don't
Hey,
judge.
I am not envious of you working 50-hour weeks. Trust me. And that's a short week for you, yeah? 50.
Wow. Sometimes. I try to hit the 50s.
Anyway, I guess our best downtime is spent watching and talking about F1. despite the fact that you're a walking billboard for every other motorsport. So
Or form of sport.
yeah, you've got Jordans on, you've got Harlem Globetrotter shorts, a super cheap Bathurst jersey, and a Daytona hat.
Yep. And for the American fans out there, and a bud.
And we're an Australian pod drinking American beer.
A bud and a Daytona hat. Go 8.
There is so many great Australian beers that you could have picked.
Yeah, we had Northerns last week.
That was my pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want everyone out there to know
We
I picked
changed
the
it
Great
up. Hey,
Northerns.
come on. You know that's my go-to.
Why would you change away from your go-to?
Boring. We're trying to promote some
Boring.
different things here for the pod.
All right. Well,
Everyone drinks
I'd like to
Northern.
apologise to Great Northern right now. I
That's
don't
true.
find the beer
I don't mean that.
boring.
They're not boring, but everyone drinks Great Northern.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you waiting for? Like
We're trying to
what? Branch out.
be entertaining, and
Cheers.
it's a bud.
We're trying to be entertaining.
Yeah, something
and
different.
Budweiser's
I
going to
think
do
when I
that.
see Budweiser, I think NASCAR. I think motorsport.
Yeah. Well, you're half dressed American, so
Yeah.
I'm worried about you.
F1 merch is too expensive.
Okay, I don't blame you.
You say, you said, work 50 hours a week. You're probably not wrong. That's not enough to cover a Formula One shirt.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking the other day? So before I guess we get to any further here, this episode is about Drive to Survive for the most part. So we'll get there in a second. But just on that, I had a thought the other day. F1 is a sport that seems like it's becoming less accessible. You know, it was already like, you go back 10 years, you go back 15 years, it was a dad sport. Like, remember when we used to go to the Melbourne Grand Prix and it felt like the paddock was half empty? You could sit anywhere. Anywhere you wanted, you could get a spot.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right.
haven't been back to a Formula One track in
Well, that's true. It's been a lot longer for you.
14 years.
Wow, 14
Yeah.
years.
So,
It is kind of that thing of once you've gone once, you kind of...
oh, don't get me wrong. I'd like to go again. The problem is it's expensive. It's not like...
Well, this is my point, right?
Well, yeah. I went to the V8s 2 weeks ago. I was upset with this price, but it was $60 to get in. But like compare that to a Melbourne Grand Prix ticket. You know what
you're
I mean?
fuming, were you?
Yeah, I was not happy.
$60, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. For what you get from that particular track and that venue, I was like,
So
jeez.
was it packed? Was there a lot of people there, or was it pretty quiet? Where was this?
It was
Eastern Creek?
Yeah. I'm surprised you know that. That's the old name.
You know what's funny?
You refer it to that.
The only reason I know that is I would like to say because I'm a fan of V8s and I watch
Just
that
motorsport in general.
motorsport,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's because I used to be a postman. You'll remember. And Australia Post used to do their motorcycle training courses on Eastern Creek.
Really?
So I had to go there and
That's
stay there for
hilarious.
like 2 or 3 days on the on-track hotels that they
wow.
had there.
Yeah, right.
And then do the training on Eastern Creek on our postie bikes.
That's actually
Yeah.
that's good. I
That's
didn't know
sick.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's there you go.
That's going
I
back.
thought you just rode around in car parks.
Yeah,
For
just
practicing,
around orange
practicing
cones.
dodging dogs and
Yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah, just around cones.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, you went to it. That's cool.
No, it was on the racetrack. And
That
there was,
makes sense,
there was like
'cause
10 of us.
It hasn't been known as Eastern Creek for probably 15 years.
Right, what is it known as now?
Sydney Motorsport Park.
Motorsport.
SMP.
Yeah, I
It's
did know that, yeah.
very generic, very boring now. I don't like it. Don't like the venue. Don't like the look of the track. Don't like the look of the venue overall. What do you think of the beer?
For the record, Great Northern is better. Just for the record,
Yes.
personally.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm happy for like a sponsorship or anything like that.
Look,
but
I'm
seriously,
sure that we've got singles American fans watching us, and we apologise
Yeah.
for the disrespect to their beer.
it's not just. I actually quite like the bud.
Maybe,
You know, I bought it-
maybe we cracked double figures on the
anyone
American.
anyone who watched the trailer, I was drinking a bud,
Yeah.
and that was the first time I've had a bud, and I was like, tasty beverage.
Oh, yeah.
Tasty beverage.
Yeah.
My go-to is a Northern, but that's when I'm outside the pod.
So anyway, back to my story. I had a passing thought when I was at work doing nothing. About how inaccessible F1, funnily enough, seems like it's becoming. You know, the tickets are so expensive. If you're on grandstands, like forget about it.
Yeah.
Especially
Never
if you're
been to a
taking your
grandstand.
family or like if a bunch of you want to go.
Yeah.
It just seems so like if you live in Melbourne, fair enough. But if you're going to travel there, and you got to add the cost and the
It's a whole
stay
other thing.
fees and all that sort of stuff. It becomes a really expensive event. But there is this whole thing of like, the merch is so expensive. Like I don't own any F1 merch, and I might
And you
buy
waste
something
your
for
money
the pod.
on lots of things.
I do. I love wasting my money. But I can't justify $200 for a shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a heck of a lot of money.
What about it is $200?
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you want to pick up a jacket? Yeah, no worries, $400-500. And I'm probably underselling it. I haven't looked for a while, but
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Caps.
It literally feels like only the richest people in the world can go to F1 now and buy merch and have good seats. Because like with motor racing, if you got a grandstand seat, you get to see a pretty decent section of the track.
You get a good vantage point is the biggest thing. Or you get the front straight, you get to see the pits. Or,
But if you've got GA, you've got just meow. And then you got to wait a minute, 20 seconds.
And you got to hope you get somewhere where there's a TV so you can actually understand what's going on with the race.
Yeah. So anyway, that was just my passing thought.
No, you're probably right. I mean,
I missed the old F1 where it was dad sports, So
I mean, I'll tell you what. You asked me last week I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was in relation to NASCAR produces good racing and what could Formula One do, And I found it hard to answer because they're completely different sports. But
you don't think about stuff too deeply.
That's also true.
Not a lot going on
Very
up there.
surface level. I try not to. It gives me a headache. But I was, NASCAR was on today and guilty. I watched some of it. Yeah.
Hey, you watched NASCAR today?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just want to confirm that.
Okay, some of it. Yeah. They're at COTA. Who else races at COTA?
F1.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. There was plenty of action on track. To go the same track layouts. The track layout was different, but it was 70% of the Formula One track. It was the important bits.
Okay.
The racing, although it wasn't great, it had me locked in. And there was passing, and there was intrigue. There was 4 seconds a lap drop off.
Right.
With tyre.
So what are you saying?
This is just because you asked me last week, and it's funny because I have been thinking about it all week. I was like, all the things that because Formula One just have us by a stranglehold, and I've said it all the time. It's a very unentertaining sport to have this kind of support from everyone, and here we are guilty of it too. We're giving up a heck of a lot of time unpaid to talk about this sport. That is typically
just on that. If you could subscribe to us, it would be great to just make
100%.
something.
100%.
At least cover the beers.
And I'm sure I'm promoting Formula One as a sport for you to come and follow.
Well, it sounds like we're promoting NASCAR and shitting on F1 more than anything. But
because there are so many good things about Formula One. They just, at the moment, or last year, it got to a point where it was very entertaining. I mean, when the commentators are sitting there and basically saying themselves, "Oh, this is a bit of a shit race." Like, the writing's on the wall.
The classic, is that clouds coming from the east?
Yeah.
And then the camera pans over.
In 3 hours it'll be raining.
Yeah.
But we'll probably be packed up by then.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that there's lots of things Formula One could do to make racing just that little bit more racy.
Like NASCAR, yeah.
Not like NASCAR. I'm not saying.
Well, that was my question.
What could
you learn or take from NASCAR?
The question is exactly how did NASCAR? Because they're the same thing. They've got 4 wheels and a driver. Why can they make racing entertaining?
Yeah.
Why? Again, it's because all they care about is the entertainment factor.
Yeah. So
forget about everything else.
This is an F1 podcast, so we have to pivot. But really quickly, you just got to answer this. How's Gizzy going?
He's actually off to a very good start, yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine that's kind of the big point that's pulled you over to watch NASCAR. It
actually wasn't, funnily enough. Like, I watched his first race in Chicago. That was like the first NASCAR race I'd ever really watched.
Yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, I used to... Well, not a kid, like a teenager. If I went on to Foxtel, whatever, or Saturday morning on Channel 7, mate, whatever, and NASCAR was on, I'd watch it a bit just for the crashes.
Okay.
Then Gizzy went over. I watched his first race in Chicago, but it wasn't enough to pull me over. I think the cars are a bit silly. I think the flat underbody, there's a lot of things that I'm like, it's odd. So it took me a couple of years, and it was only last year. I think it would have probably been NBA just finished up, and I was like, that's a big.
Were you in the state of mind of I just need something to watch anything?
Yeah, and then it was like doing nothing on a Monday. Oh, NASCAR's on, and obviously know a little bit more about NASCAR than ever because of Gizzy.
Yeah,
and then it was like, oh man, dude, this is actually not bad.
So that wasn't quick at all, that answer. But where I was getting with this...
Well, the answer is it's not Gizzy, but now that I'm in it, of course, he's the man.
Where I was going with this is, first of all, Gizzy is Shane Van Gisbergen, who was a V8 supercar driver, who's gone over to NASCAR to try and... I guess he did everything in V8s, so he made the shift over to NASCAR to see if he can have some success there.
Which he has, yeah.
So my question then, what brings you more joy, or what do you prefer more? Michael Jordan winning and having success in NASCAR, or Van Gisbergen?
I'm pretty guilty of enjoying watching Michael Jordan because You
Just
probably don't-
context, Michael Jordan is an ex-NBA player. He used to play for the Chicago Bulls.
Correct,
had great
yeah.
success in the
Washington
NBA.
Wizards,
Now
yeah.
has nothing to do with the NBA and
Absolutely
is
zero
all
things.
in on NASCAR.
Yeah, 100%. He won again today.
I did
Every
see that.
episode, this is
I did see that. They
episode
broke
2.
some history.
They rewrote history. First driver to ever win the first 3 races of a championship year.
So
So this is a sport that's in its 76th year, by the way.
Yeah, wow. It's just as old as F1. That's crazy.
Yeah. And NBA. All these things have hit that 75, 80 year mark around the same time.
So Jordan's your answer.
No, Jordan's not driving the track. The thing is, he's actually been there these
I know
3.
he's not driving on track.
Yeah. So it's good to see Gizzy have success, but Michael Jordan's also not there all the time. I don't know how he's ended up there these 3 weeks in a row and they've won because he's not always there. He's a busy semi-retired.
So what's your answer?
I don't enjoy watching Tyler Reddick win NASCAR races.
Okay.
I
All
do
right. That's good
enjoy
enough for me.
seeing Michael Jordan get interviewed afterwards, and he's very big bloke with a lot of credibility. When you just look at him on TV, you're like, yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that gives you
All right.
enjoyment.
That's enough on that. So we're talking about season 8 of Drive to Survive. Now, it's probably a good thing that we had a longer than usual intro because how many episodes of Drive to Survive did you watch? Now, if you are a fan of the podcast, if you've listened to us or watched us before, you probably get the general gist that I don't mind Drive to Survive. I watch all of it, and I usually am a little bit more easier on it.
Mm-hmm.
You typically can't stand it.
I don't
and
enjoy
don't,
it.
And
I
don't
don't
watch
enjoy
it.
it.
And
Yeah.
don't like it. Yeah. So I finished episode 8 today,
Mm-hmm.
literally probably 2 hours ago. How many episodes did you watch? Did you get all 8?
So I watched 1.5 episodes.
You watched 1.5 episodes.
There might have been Netflix probably got revenue for 4 because I fell asleep and let it and played through
Yeah. Okay.
until
yeah.
I woke up and turned the TV off.
Okay. So you did get NASCAR in this morning?
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I only watched that, and I'm not trying to piss on anyone watch Drive to Survive because each to your own. You know, as much as I don't enjoy it, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
People enjoy things that aren't entertaining, and that's totally to their
They're allowed to.
decisions. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was watching that and I'm only watching it because we'd said, "Oh, we'll watch it and we'll do a thing," and I pretty much said to you straight off the bat, I may not get all 8 in, and you said, maybe you get 4 or 5 in. Try and get about half. So I tried. And I was watching it.
That's all you can do.
Yeah,
Just try.
you just do the best you can. Right? Yeah. I was halfway through the first episode, and I was like, man, I just want to watch a movie. If I didn't have a job to do, I would have absolutely I just wouldn't have watched it. Like, it just doesn't strike me as entertaining.
Yeah, okay.
That's the biggest thing. That's just for me. I would watch it, and I just can't get over, like... So straight away, Kimmy Antonelli.
So you're going to give me your take based on 1.5 episodes?
Just straight away. The first thing I noticed. So, like, it's all the cliche stuff. You got the Will Buxton straight off the bat.
Which he has nothing to do with F1 at the moment, right? He's gone over to Indy, hasn't he?
No, I don't know. I think he's still in F1, but he's never been, like, one of the main guys. He's always been you see him in the background with some niche, fucking broadcaster. He's just, and that could just be from our point of view because we watch Sky. So don't get me wrong. Maybe it's a major, broadcaster for someone else, but as far as I'm concerned, he's not.
Yeah, sure.
Either way. So straight away, you get the Will Buxton. Qualifying is so important because if you get pole position, you start on the front row.
Yeah.
And when you start on the front row,
Buxton
it means you get to lead the race off the start on Sunday. And it's like, is this guy have any self-awareness? Or is this his thing? Is this like his thing? Like to just be overtly obvious?
He's playing into the character.
Help but think to myself, I could do this and do it better.
Could you?
Yeah.
You don't look as pretty as Will Buxton.
He's not pretty. He's, no offense, Will Buxton.
Yeah.
Not out here trying to throw shade, but he doesn't like my bottom file.
No, who does? Don't answer that.
Yeah. I got to miss it. My missus.
Oh, smart man. And come on. She doesn't listen to this show.
She doesn't.
You're safe here,
She
right?
really
This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't change my answer.
Okay. So the 1.5 episodes that you did manage to stay conscious for did not do anything for you.
No.
Yeah.
But again, it's, and I started bringing up Kimmy Antonelli. the way they cut, the start of the Grand Prix, or not even that, the qualifying, the way they cut the radio in, and we all know it's no surprise. And I know some people are like, just indulge it. How many movies have unanswered questions? How many movies don't make sense logically? You just accept it and enjoy it. But it's hard when it's meant to be a documentary about a very real sport. I mean, the F1 movie took F1 more serious than Drive to Survive takes it.
Jeez, that's a Will Buxton take right there.
Well, exactly. It's incredibly
to the point. Have
obvious.
you forgotten the movie? Have you forgotten the tactics that went on to
I've seen the movie
score
once.
points?
Yeah. Don't disprove my theory. Okay. The fact is, you watch the qualifying run and it's his engineer 2 or 3 times over his lap, telling him you need to push now, and then there's a little lock up, and then they cut to Toto and he's shaking his head, and then through the race he makes an overtake, and they cut to Toto and he's smiling and he's happy, and it's like these things did not happen in this. Toto doesn't smile.
No,
I don't know why he was smiling. There might have been like a delivery of cupcakes to the Mercedes garage.
Nah, probably one of the mechanics tripped over somewhere, just off screen,
That's
and
better.
split his head open or something.
Exactly. Don't forget to cut my one. That one's better. Use that. That's what I mean. Like and it happened twice as well. I noticed through that race, he made 2 good overtakes, which I'm pretty certain might have been the same overtake because they're both on Hulkenberg, mind you, or they're both on a Sauber. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've cut the same overtake in twice.
Yeah.
But both times they cut to Toto and he's.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh. And then they cut that with some audio. And I'm just like, it just irks me because I'm like, this is just not.
Okay. So as someone who watched the whole season, this was like one of the most least entertaining seasons.
And it should have been the best for the controversy.
It should have been, but they pretty much avoided it. Like, they did not deep dive into any of the major controversies. That's a hard word to say.
Especially after a quarter of a beer. Yeah. Clearly.
How much is in a bud, by the way? Is that what is
330, which is
1.3.
standard.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's up there. So, like we know that the biggest talking point from last season was papaya rules. There was almost no real other major talking points.
That's what kept us going.
That's what fueled the season. And all of the McLaren stuff that they covered was just surface level stuff that was basically a lot of Zach Brown. They were just glazing Zach Brown. And it just made me think he's even more of a twat than ever.
That's hard to do.
You really didn't get a lot of behind the scenes looks. A lot of the stuff was just interviews, post race or pre race, or
probably stuff we already all kind of saw.
Stuff that we saw anyway. Yeah. So it does make me wonder, who was this for? Who are they making this for?
They're still trying. I think they must still be trying to suck in the dummies. That's all.
There can't be many left.
No, and this is why I don't really understand how you can even enjoy it. Someone who's watched the sport for long enough, but I guess you're also a movie buff, so you can also.
Oh, look, I get they're going to take flourishes, like dramatic.
Eye.
I get they're going to take dramatic flourishes. Like my favorite one is leaving the radio pushed in to do heavy breathing. Yeah. But I like the idea of the behind the scenes look, getting a look at what happens behind closed doors. But when you have big names like Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen, who really weren't involved in it at all.
Yeah.
I think it speaks very loudly.
I heard that. I haven't seen, obviously, but I heard that they didn't have any sit-down interviews.
No, they didn't have any of those. But you really didn't get any, like... I get that the teams have to be careful of, like, protecting secrets, and how they operate and whatever. But you really didn't get any kind of interesting or different perspective to what we had already seen in the season. Everything that they showed us, we had already seen.
Yeah.
And then, mind you, they don't cover the whole season. And the way that it's edited, it just jumps across the season. It's not linear.
Is it back to team by team? Because I know episode 2 was Alpine.
Yeah.
Because remember how they used to do it, the first season at least, was they focus on one team at one race. So you got one team, one race.
Yeah.
And then, because then there was the whole thing where teams the next year didn't want Netflix in the garage because they just seemed to have a shit race that year before.
Yeah.
Whereas now it seems to be they kind of retell the year, but like still try to focus on a team.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the first episode was, I guess, mostly around the rookies, and then the second episode was mostly around Alpine.
But then, because then I noticed they cut to China where then they're talking about Oscar.
Yeah.
But then it was like an Alpine episode.
Yeah. Then episode 3 was predominantly McLaren. And then there was a Ferrari dominant one. There was one that was like sort of Alpine v Williams, and it was more so on like the management style between the two team bosses.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Mercedes one and whatever.
Yeah, because I did see a little bit.
It was kind of like that. Yeah.
On Flavio versus Jonathan Wheatley.
Yeah.
In episode 2.
Yeah.
But I tell you, there's a couple of things that I was like, oh, that's interesting. There was Albon giving advice to rookies. That threw me. I was like, huh, interesting. He feels quite confident in his boots. There's 6 rookies on the grid. He feels quite established.
Well, don't forget, he did start the season red hot, and then the drop off.
Yeah, but this was Australia, so this was before his. This was
true.
Fresh off Crash Fest.
Sorry, I forgot that you did only watch one episode.
This was fresh off the Crash Fest that was 2024 for him, and then he goes to 2025 and he's giving advice to the rookies on how to keep it on track in Australia.
Just
that
what
caught me by
Kimi
surprise.
Antonelli needs.
I was like, oh, it would be. I'd be turning him off if I was a rookie. I'd be like, yeah, it's all good. I might go stand on the other side of the bus.
Yeah,
personally, that caught me by surprise. And there was another one.
Like, I'm not an F1 driver.
No,
as much as I'd love to be.
Yeah.
But it's pretty obvious that white paint is slippery in the wet.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Well, you got to be as a commentator to know that. Yeah, that's right.
Pretty sure Will Buxton said that once.
He probably did. Yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing.
The other thing that I thought was just incredibly interesting was, and I just couldn't help but notice, was Flavio comparing Colapinto to Schumacher and Fernando Alonso. Very subtly.
Yeah, Flavio is out of touch. Watching that episode, more than anything, I came away with, what the fuck is this guy doing back in the sport?
Yeah.
And he is out of touch. And like
that
obviously you
hard.
only made it part way through that episode, but they were very much pushing a narrative of Flavio is like a dictator and there's no pussyfooting around. He doesn't have any kind of empathy or sympathy for drivers, especially with his handling of Jack Doohan, which we'll get into. And then Jonathan Wheatley was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
He was very much a positive
very
force,
gentle.
very gentle,
which I didn't
very
realize.
soft.
He seemed very fair. Obviously, we all can.
He's a bit campy. There's a bit of a campiness about him.
Like, I think of Jonathan Wheatley as obviously the Red Bull guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's
a very famous and successful name in the sport.
Michael's Jonathan. And in that year, very stern and to the point with Michael Massey.
Yeah.
That's all we ever heard. Michael, it's Jonathan. Can we have a chat?
Yeah.
That's all we ever heard.
I sent you an email.
Very stern.
Check your emails.
Yeah, exactly. And then watching that episode or half that episode last night, it was like, he doesn't seem that way. And then you got to wonder, is that why he left Red Bull? Because they're as a team are very... It's Christian's way.
Yeah.
And you look at all the leaders that were at that team.
Old Bungai, he seems like one
Marco.
who doesn't...
All the leaders of that team are very... Even Max, and you'd have to call him something of a leader in that team. They're all just very stern to the point, aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael Wheatley, what's his name?
Yeah,
Jonathan Wheatley.
Yeah,
he just seemed very opposite to that.
Well, he was. Yeah. So, and they obviously knew that. That's why they paired those two narratives together. I think I appreciated him more after watching the episode, and I made it to the end, and then continued on watching the season. But it definitely left me feeling like Flavio was completely out of touch. I don't know if you remember last week I was saying how I don't think it's any surprise that Christian Horner isn't in the sport right now. I think it would have been very surprising if he had landed somewhere this early after... I mean, it's only been half a year, really. Half a season that he's been out of F1 since his firing.
Yeah. There's no hiding from what happened.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how he re-enters the sport. He is a very big personality, and I think he still, despite the noise and the dick pics and whatever else was going on there...
Yeah.
Forget that for a second. His experience in F1 is very valuable, and that would prove, I think, as a strength to any team.
This is where it's tough.
So it'd be interesting to see where he does land, or if he is maybe going to potentially bring a 12th team in. Who knows? But what I was going to say is I'm losing my train of thought because I'm thinking about Christian Horner dick pics now.
That's just always in the back of my mind, so I'm fine. I'm good to go.
What I was going to say is it's no surprise that he isn't back, but he will come back. And I was comparing him to Flavio, where Flavio very famously was caught up in Crashgate, a very controversial event in F1.
Very.
And it got
To this
him,
day.
what we all understood was a lifetime ban
At the
from
time.
the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lifetime bans apparently are not for life.
Somehow he's back in the sport. And it's not even like he's on the board and he's just in an office
An
somewhere.
advisor,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's on the track. He's making all the
He's
calls.
leading the team.
And now he's the main protagonist in an episode.
Yeah.
So he's well and truly back in F1.
Yeah.
So lifetime bans apparently mean nothing. But anyway, I said it just took enough time for that stink to go away.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to you, it was basically a whole generation of viewers. So there a lot of people would be watching and wouldn't really know who he was, the success he had with Schumacher and Benetton and whatever, and then Renault and Fernando. And like, it's kind of funny to even think that Fernando
Was there.
Yeah. But, you know, enough time has sort of passed that I guess no one cares now and whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's kind of the same with Christian, like how much stink has to kind of go away before
Well, his
teams
stink
are
wasn't
ready
even
to...
racing related.
No, it
That's
wasn't
the
racing
problem.
related. It was probably maybe something arguably more serious.
Yeah.
You know, rather than making your number 2 car deliberately crash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if it is a question of how much stink has to go away before he comes back.
Well, I think it's interesting because you got 2 new teams on the grid effectively this year, especially like a Cadillac. You'd think someone of Christian Horner's status being up for grabs and probably very cheap, being available, they didn't even jump at him.
I don't reckon he'd go cheap. I reckon, like, I mean, all the headline stuff was that he wants to be a owner or part owner.
Yeah, I just imagine someone like him might be like in your contract long term. If things pan out, yep, okay.
I agree.
But
I see what
for
you're saying.
short-term things,
Someone like
Cadillac or Audi,
yeah.
who are like, okay, we're just coming in. This guy's got obviously an incredible record, and they didn't even seem to put any effort into him.
Well,
Or they didn't seem to want. I guess they didn't want him. I don't see why he wouldn't have jumped back into the sport if he was given the opportunity. I mean, there were rumours around, you know, that were being directly talked about from the teams like Haas and Renault. That he had reached out or whatever the case, or his team had reached out, but yeah, we're not interested. You know, so it's like he was still trying to get back into the sport.
It'd be poor. Imagine if he did land in Audi. Poor Jonathan. He's probably thinking,
Yeah.
I'm just got away from this asshole.
Exactly right.
And now he's my boss again.
Yeah, he's
or
running the
whatever,
team
but-
again.
Yeah,
It's funny talking about someone who you were talking about before, but I forget. Flavio.
Flavio, pretty
And
big
being
name.
a main character back in there. A couple of things. Just talk about the way he talks about himself, but he talks about Jensen Button like he's discarded fruit. But it's like, do you realize who Jensen Button is to the sport or what he did accomplish? Like, he may not be a Michael Schumacher, but he only felt one championship short of what Alonso was capable of. Like, the way he was like, I discovered Fernando because I sacked Jensen Button. It's like, maybe prematurely.
Yeah, well, he
because
wants to be known as that guy who's happy to just cut the cord
And then whoever he sacked for Schumacher, never heard of the bloke. Can't have been that hard of a decision to make.
And I'm pretty sure from memory, from something that I watched, who's the guy who just died from cancer last year?
Yeah, Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah, on his podcast.
What's his first name?
Eddie.
I'm pretty sure he said that he told him to hire Schumacher. So
Yeah.
it wasn't even like
Something
Flavio.
there was some link there.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't even him going, wow, this guy is insane. You're out. He's in. I'm pretty sure it took Eddie Jordan to be like, hey, this guy is really good.
Yeah.
He would be
He
a massive
discovered
benefit to your
Schumacher,
team.
technically.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just want to say one thing, sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
This is the other thing I had in my mind. I had lots of mental notes from this one episode and a half.
Well, I can tell. Yeah. Lucky you didn't watch all 8. Otherwise, this podcast would go for 3
7
hours.
exactly. Yeah, 8 hours long, as long as the series itself. Why was Claire Williams on it?
Good question. I had the same question.
Because Gunther's not on it.
No, but I get the feeling he's been like
hasn't
blacklisted
owned
from F1.
A team in years.
No.
She hasn't been around the sport. You know, it's not like Jensen Button, who's a commentator, or Will Buxton, who's around.
Nico Rosberg? Or,
Yeah. Wasn't he on? Didn't I see his face on there?
Nico Rosberg was in one of the
I was
episodes.
going to say, I
if
feel
you,
like I've got a memory of him sitting in the chair as, I
if
was,
you
dozing, as I was dozing away. I feel like I seen him sitting down. I was like, what?
speaking of men that
Like
do
a
things for you.
Dramatic entrance. Well, no. But yeah, when I saw Claire Williams, I actually went back to be like, was that who I think I saw? Because I don't know if her name popped up, but then I had to go back. I was like, that's Claire Williams. I was like, why?
What? A female wearing a Williams shirt didn't give it away?
Was she wearing a Williams shirt? I wasn't looking at her shirt.
Yeah, I
She
think
hasn't. She's not got nothing
She
to
was
do
in
with the team.
Williams colours, I'm pretty sure. But
Well, she got nothing to do with the team.
yeah, no, I
Oh.
know that. I'm well aware.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
mean,
like-
other than her sharing the
There's no
name.
reason for them to have the name. I called for a renaming of that team a year and a half ago. Okay,
Yeah.
I just didn't understand why
I guess
she's
it's
not.
probably.
They could have had Danica Patrick in there for Christ's sake.
Oh, God,
At least that would have made sense.
Now you're getting stupid.
Yeah, and then
Right.
they could have put it next to Jensen. I would have watched it, right? I would have watched that. If you
Yeah.
told me Danica and Jensen, they put them next to each other in the F1 chair and said, go,
Yeah.
I'd be there. This is what they're missing.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's probably because, okay, I get the feeling that Netflix is still treating this show, even though we're up to season 8 now, as like a welcome to F1. So it always re-explains itself.
Yeah.
And it always like reintroduces people, and it always like it basically treats it like, oh, you're brand new to the sport.
Yeah.
Here, I almost get the feeling that
he made his name via Drive to Survive.
yeah. So I almost think that they're probably keeping her on as like if you came into the sport through this series, that's kind of a person for you of like, oh, it's her. She used to be the team principal, and oh, great that she still has an interest in it or whatever.
Okay.
That's all I can assume.
I just like an explanation because she just hasn't been around the sport. You definitely haven't seen her. Again, we're hidden by Sky's coverage, but she's just. I don't think she's part of the sport.
No. All right. So I guess going back to Alpine a little bit, probably one of the biggest, almost interesting talking points that did come from the series was the handling of Jack Doohan and how the fallout. So in that episode, I don't know how deep in you got, but he revealed that he got a lot of death threats around
Jack?
Yeah, around
I
keeping
actually
still
fell
being in that
asleep
seat.
while he was crashing. I remember. I think it woke me up for a moment, and then I just
Which time? Because there was a lot of times.
Suzuka.
This is so the crash.
The crash. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently going into his last race, which was it the third race? No, he made it 6th, didn't he? He made it 6 races.
It was a race before Imola. I remember Imola was
Correct.
Franco's.
You are correct. So it was like round 5 or round 6.
Yeah.
He was receiving a lot of death threats. Now it seems like it was from the Argentinian public because they have very deep-rooted love for Colapinto, who I don't know why, but I guess that remains to be seen.
Hey, national pride.
Yeah.
National pride,
Well,
brother.
Yeah. But apparently he received death threats by email and had to have bodyguards and had a little bit of a breakdown over it all. And it seemed like it was a pretty, at least Netflix painted it like it was a pretty severe thing.
I mean,
So
how much tax did Netflix put on it?
yeah. So it was that was probably the biggest talking point out of it all. And it's been interesting how people have sort of come out to sort of throw their support behind Jack Doohan and his treatment and everything. And I think it shows how outdated Flavio is.
Yeah.
Rather than like publicly backing his driver and being like, no, we picked him for a reason, and setting benchmarks and letting everyone know, even if that's just one season. You got one season to show us what you got. You know, it was basically race by race, it seemed.
But wasn't it? He had a full season as of Abu Dhabi 24. You're in for next season, and it wasn't until like halfway through that break it was like, oh, he's actually only got 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah.
And then the writing was on the wall straight away. There's nothing you can do. You knew once you found out who was waiting in the wings, it was never going to happen. I mean, look at the season that played out for Franco. Awful.
Yeah.
And
Terrible season, but
not only
no one was talking about it.
not only did he get moved, if they moved him for another one of their, I was there for the jokes about the sea of drivers. They had the band, if you will, the band of reserves. If they moved him on for one of them, I would have been okay with the Jack thing. I would have been like, all right, maybe, and I get F1's,
They're
mate.
just
It's all
cycling
about
through
money.
to see who has the spark.
But if they actually seemed to put some effort in and gave each of them a 5 race sample, I would have been like, all right, all's good and fair. And then, you know what? Money's always going to talk. So it would have been Franco back in the seat this year. But at least it would have just felt a little less harsh to Jack.
I think that F1 should implement a rule that whatever drivers you have at the beginning of the season, you have to stick with that pairing until the end. So it basically, I think it means that you have to develop your drivers. I think it is like, look, I know that you don't feel sorry for Liam Lawson in any way, but a 2-race sample and gets dropped is just hilarious. Like, that is hilarious. That is just a complete mismanagement on Red Bull's part.
Yeah.
And Jack's not much better. 6 races before getting dropped. You're going
But
to a
not to
lot of
mention,
these
Lawson
places.
had 8 to 10 Grand Prix under his belt already.
Yeah.
Over 2 years.
Yeah.
He was entering his 3rd calendar year of racing a Formula 1 car in season.
At least if you're coming in as a rookie, you're going to these venues for the first time in an F1 car. You got a lot of learning to do. Back in the day, it wasn't quite as cutthroat as that.
No.
If you were a shit driver, you had to figure it out quick, smart, and then you had a chance. If you had a slow or rough start to the season, you had a chance that you could turn it around by the end. You could get to grips with the car. You could get your head around the race weekends.
Yeah.
Everything that goes with F1. But now it's just everything is just it's too quick. They're just too quick to jump ship, and I think it's hurting the sport because number one, obviously you got a large pool of fans that are following that driver from their country.
Yeah.
That you're now, kind of cutting out, so to speak. You're not giving them a reason to follow along anymore, which is one thing. But you're not giving us a chance to connect with them or see some sort of an arc of their career. How many other sports do you watch where it's like, they started slow, they're rough, but then they started to figure it out. And then it's literally a 0 to hero type ride.
And they might actually get a second chance, or they generally do. For someone who's got high expectations, even if they stumble, they'll, in other sports, always get a second chance.
Yeah, and
the potential's too
all
high.
athletes are going to have dry spells, right? It's how you bounce out of that. It's how you can get out of that.
Yeah.
But starting off is different. So I think there does need to be a rule change of whatever your driver pairing is, barring injury or illness or whatever, you're sticking with them every race, and then at the end of the season you reevaluate.
There needs to be, like you said, there needs to be some guidelines. Is he within, there's a 107% rule, which is just absurd. If you're not within that, you've got some major issues.
I could be in that.
You could. I do. I feel strongly you could be. I think you could be with your keeping Picanto.
Yeah. For the record, that's not my car, but yes.
But there should be something you should have to go. Yep, you pick a driver, you sign him for a minimum of a calendar season. Your reasoning to drop said driver should be based on certain parameters. Is he outside of a second over a 3-4 race period of his teammate?
Different. If you don't seem like you're fit for the category,
exactly. If there's a performance reason for you to drop a driver, because again, I just think. For the life of our podcast, this is going to be a problem, and people are going to have to hear about this. The Daniel Ricciardo treatment via Red Bull is just atrocious. I mean, he has fans all over the world, and what they did to him is a joke. So the fact that,
and you know what the knock-on effect of that is probably that he has nothing to do with the sport right now.
Yeah,
because he probably does feel like he was just rejected,
wrong by,
and he didn't leave the sport on a high note. He left on a very low note. Yeah. So I don't blame him for not really being that involved in the sport.
I mean, and again, I like Jenson Button, always have as a driver and since. God, it would have been good to have Ricciardo. Would have been good to have Webber. Again, he left on a bit of a sour note, not with the sport necessarily, but with the sport as a compounding effect of his team. But these people, it just would be so good to have them around.
Yeah.
Not just always the same people that will come back. Rosberg and your drivers that didn't do anything, Karoon and Ant. Yeah. Drivers that didn't do much, did they amass any fans? Probably not. Great, you're a part of the coverage, but give me Ricciardo. Yeah. Give me Webber, not so much now. There's a bit of something strange going on there.
But he's been in this modern era, so he would provide great insight that Jenson Button couldn't provide, or Nico Rosberg couldn't provide. So big personality, people love to watch him. Yeah. People would love to see him. People would love to hear what he has to say. So I see what you're saying. So Drive to Survive. There's so many different ways we could attack this. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, we could sit here for an hour and just shit all over it, but there's plenty of people who are already doing that, especially on social media. I do think that overall, the biggest issue that it had was it didn't give me anything that I felt like I didn't already know. Yeah. It didn't give me any interesting behind the scenes, and it avoided a lot of the controversies. It glazed over the McLaren stuff. It did not get into any of the controversial stuff that we constantly brought up through the year. And again, it doesn't matter what side of the garage you're on. It doesn't matter if you're a Lando fan or an Oscar fan. Papaya rules was the defining thing of 2025. watching it, some of those episodes was making me angry. It was like the episodes were rage baiting me again. There was one point where I said to Iz, my partner, I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm going to go take a piss. And she's like, oh, do you want to pause it? I'm like, no, just leave it. I don't want to watch this again. I don't want to go through this again.
Yeah, if you're watching a highlight reel of the year with some open radio with some breathing, and it wasn't a good year to be doing that.
No, so I was thinking about it and I thought, because I knew you wouldn't have watched it all, what would it take for them to do for you to be interested in it? What would you like to see them do or add? Or how could they approach it differently that you, as a F1 fan who has an F1 podcast and have been watching for at least 14 years, what could they do?
I don't know. It's tough because the NBA have the starting five thing. I don't enjoy that either.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, and I mean that does have some, but that has some behind the scenes sort of stuff that they follow them home. It's a bit odd, but I think maybe it's just not for me because I don't think you can be genuine when the cameras are there. I think that's just a straight up fact.
But these people already, that's how they operate.
Well, yeah, but not.
They already
they
are used
know,
to that.
Exactly, but when the camera in the Formula One, the FIA cameras are there, you're media trained. You don't say anything. You don't even look. These drivers and people, they've got TVs all in front of them. They're watching the coverage. They can see themselves on the TV. They know where that camera is. They don't look at that camera. They all do the same thing. Don't look at the camera. You don't look at the camera. You're media trained to not look at the camera. Don't engage with the camera. Unless you're Ricardo. And again, that's probably why I had so many fans. You look at the camera, smile, thumbs up.
Yeah.
But most drivers, most of these people, that's how they are around the cameras. And that's what we see. All of a sudden, there's a camera with the big N on it. And they're forced to interact with that. They're supposed to interact with that. They're supposed to give some insight. But that's not their normal selves because they're trained another way. So I don't know what they can do because...
That almost plays a little bit into that F1 seems like it's becoming inaccessible thing again. You know, it's like what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And like we know that the media... Like, look at how they approached last season. We wanted so many answers from McLaren on things, but it was just, you know, like... One thing that they did not bring up was the McLaren World Championship.
Right.
Now, they very, very briefly skimmed over them winning it in Singapore. Was it Singapore that they won it?
Don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, but of course they didn't talk about Oscar not being up on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
So
they
again, they avoid
literally just glazed over it and moved on.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for me, there's two ways that they could approach it. It's either unrestricted access. Don't
It needs to be a
hide from
fly
the
on the
big
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hide from the big controversies and the big stories. The fans want answers. We already saw all this shit. We already read all the headlines. We watched the races. We saw the post-race interviews. We know how the drivers feel. Why are we rehashing it?
Yeah.
Give me something that I didn't see. Give me something where Oscar's in his trailer and he's blowing up to Mark Webber and or whatever. Give me unfiltered, unrestricted access in that sense. That would be great.
I'll tell you what the
and
answer is.
It doesn't matter, like any team, any driver. Just real quick. The other thing is they did an episode last year where they gave the drivers a camera and said like, film your race weekend. And they went about their race weekend with a camera or smartphone and they just literally from like Friday through to Sunday captured what they do and who they're hanging out with.
That sounds interesting.
Also cool.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a more of a look inside what an F1 driver does in a race weekend, where they eat, where they stay, who they're hanging out with, all this sort of stuff.
That's very
Again,
different.
we don't see that on the coverage. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Or the third thing is you can't do it as like an end of season type wrap up. You almost need to do it as like release them after the race weekend, which I know would be difficult, but we just watched the season. So why are we rehashing all the surface level stuff that we just watched?
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to do it that way, drop each episode, like follow the season linearly.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's still one team. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But then just drop the episode the
Even
week
if you
after
did
the round.
round one, round
it's
two.
fresh in your mind. You get maybe a little bit of a different perspective and just, you know.
Round 1, round 2 with one team, round 3, 4 with another. Drop them every second round.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll never happen. I just can imagine, production. The Last Dance. That's the answer.
It's one of the all time.
How many times a year?
But The Last Dance is different because
It's
that's
very
something
different.
that happened historically.
It's very
right?
different.
in sport.
It's very different.
They know how to tell a story.
Well, yeah, it's very different, but you just get a sense that they weren't doing interviews. It really was a fly on the wall. And I know that they were recording stuff from 1998, but that, as far as they were aware, that could have been being released straight away.
That's true. But do it more documentary style in okay, this is what happened in Vegas. So let's say the double DNF, right? Mm-hmm. So you play the event, so you got the context, and then cut to a current day interview of like, give your shift perspective of that. What happened with the drivers, blah, blah, blah. Don't show me Zach Brown just going, we gambled, we fucked it up, move on. We got to stop making these mistakes, blah, blah, blah. And
that's the thing.
Do it that more documentary style.
They would have, the Oscar Piastri, every time he was cut in throughout that documentary, they would have sat him down for 2 hours at some point in the last 2 months to film all of that, and cut him up. Oh, what happened in Australia? Give us your points of view, and then they just cut that in somewhere. And again, I know they can't do what The Last Dance is unless we want to see the season in 25 years, but you watch all the fly on the wall parts of The Last Dance, and it just all seems genuine. They've just got a boring practice session that would seem so disinteresting.
I remember.
So no one's bullshitting. You're not expecting them to talk to the camera. Just set a camera up. Just watch them move about. Watch them do their thing. And then cut it all together. Instead of everything has to be interacting with the camera, because that's what Drive to Survive is.
True, I agree. That is a good point. I mean, I've watched that series 3 or 4 times, and the things that I remember the most aren't what they achieved or certain games or whatever. It's little tidbits like how Jordan operated behind the scenes, like with his security stuff and stuff like that. His
watching
gambling,
him with throwing coins in there.
I was going to say, I vaguely remember the coin game, and that was like a 5-minute segment, but I was invested. I was like, this is interesting pre-game.
The stories
he's doing this sort
betting,
of stuff.
the money, or how they bet on the plane, the plane trips between the games were the interesting things.
Yeah, Rodman going off to Vegas and disappearing and whatever.
Partying up for a week.
Yeah. So if they approach it like that as F1 fans, don't rehash the shit that we just watched. Show us something that we don't get access to.
Yeah. Instead of, here's what happened in Australia. Yep. We all remember what happened in Australia. Very well.
But then editing it in a way that it's not even like showing the full picture. Yeah. Like, again, it's not even linear. We don't even get every round moving start to finish and getting the whole thing. It just jumps here, and then we're here, and then we're back here, and then we're with this team. So.
Show us, what happened in Australia was probably very entertaining for a lot of people. Take us to... Yeah, you can sort of show us a little bit what happened in Australia, but make the focus point after the event. Take those cameras to the garage after, take them back to McLaren's headquarters after, and get their team meeting. Like, we saw...
the debrief stuff.
We saw the action on track when it happened. We saw what happened in the media pen. We saw the press conferences. There's no point re-showing us all that stuff paired with an interview with Oscar Piastri that happened 11 months after the incident, when he's completely cooled off. He can look at it from hindsight.
Yeah.
And the water is completely under the bridge because the season's finished. It no longer impacts him. He didn't win the championship.
Yeah.
So be it. You can't really blame that race. He's not going to give you what he felt at that time. We don't need one-on-one interviews 11 months post what happened.
No.
And again, there's the better hindsight of like what you said. You sit to Michael Jordan down 25 years after some of his biggest triumphs and go, how did that make you feel? That's interesting.
Yeah. Or here's what this player said at this time.
Like you got Oscar, who's in his prime. He's not 2025 to him is so far out of his window of consciousness. Now he's looking to the next year. You sit him down 2 months before this new season starts and says, what happens 11 months ago in Australia? Yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, is what it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. Take us to a fly-on-the-wall camera, set up microphones around the McLaren HQ. Let us listen to the debriefs. Let us listen to how Oscar felt at the exact time it happened, not to the media-trained staff who were there in the pens and in the press conference, and even in the garage.
Yeah. Yep.
Keep it all outside of the race event. Keep it away from the stuff we saw. Keep it away from one-on-one interviews many months after the fact. That's how you fix it. That's how you fix it.
What Netflix should do is hire us, send us to follow F1 around for the seasons. We'll follow them.
We may not be back for the pod.
Yeah.
Just sacrifices to be made.
We'll lurk in bushes and we'll lurk, behind trees 100%. And, we'll we'll get the camera in. You know, actually, I know you don't watch Ted's Notebook, but I do on occasionally. Like, because
he is entertaining, but it's too late.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the race, but it's funny. One of the things with that is because he's walking up and down pit straight.
Yeah.
Again, you're getting a bit of an access into somewhere that, like, I'm never going to be in the pit straight in Bahrain or pit straight of like Silverstone or something.
Yeah.
So you're getting this really interesting look at how F1 sort of operates. But the cameraman just kind of wanders around, and Ted does his thing.
Yeah.
You know, he shows off his.
I have seen.
He shows off his calves. And
Sometimes you look at the camera and because Ted, the audio stays the same, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, who are you?" And he looks at Ted's 3 garages away, and the cameraman's gotten caught up somewhere else.
But I was going to say, the cameraman, he'll look for people, and then he zooms in, and he's between bushes, and he's like, "Oh, look, that's Max talking to Toto." Like, you know, and who the hell knows what they're talking about? Yeah. But like, it's just.
But it's away from what they know.
You're like,
they
this
don't know
is
the
already
camera's
more
there.
interesting than the race.
Yeah. Because those two don't know the camera's there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're seeing that they're just sitting there talking to each other face to face, not necessarily making any facial expressions, body movements. You can't hear them, but you know they don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Netflix should hire us. We'll fix it. We'll fix the show.
It's just it needs to be. I mean, again,
they need to stop treating everyone like they're a brand new fan.
Yeah.
And like, if you were getting new into the sport, you still have the option of going back to season 1 and having Will Buxton mansplain everything. Like,
we'd be very disappointed
do
because I remember season 1 being pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah,
I enjoyed as an already established fan. I remember enjoying season 1. Like, here we go.
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't take long for it to wear down.
No. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to add about Drive to Survive, or you're
I think we've done pretty well to establish our
not
feelings.
Bad, considering you only watched 1.5 episodes.
That's what I said to you. I didn't even have to look at my notes. I made notes, and that was all just mental, just mental cues. Yeah. For an episode and a half, I do this every year. Every year I watch the first episode, and then I just go, oh yeah, this is why I don't watch this. Like it's the same formula.
They need to bring it back down to earth. Stop trying to be this big showy performative thing. Yeah. And I think that's probably why Daniel Ricciardo was so special, was because he was himself. Yeah. He wasn't like trying too hard to be performative or censor what he was thinking or saying. You know, so it was very relatable and easy to watch. You know, now it's it's not quite that at all. So
yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, we miss Danny Rick.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. People are going to be long suffering. We'll be here in 10 years still.
Yep.
Reminiscing of the day that it all went bad.
Yeah. All right. So I thought what we could do is end the episode. So we've got the Melbourne Grand Prix only days away.
Can't come quick enough.
Are you getting excited?
I am getting excited.
I am.
I have read some things again, especially the way certain fans format certain things and how they highlight certain things.
Yeah.
And one thing was, it's hard to be a Ferrari fan because they'd figured out how to do this. We spoke last week about the issues with starting these cars, and they'd figured out kind of a loophole. And then the FIA realised they're the only team who can effectively start a race. So, all right, we need to change the rules, and took that benefit away from them.
Well, don't forget about the whole wing system too. Like, see what happens with that.
Yeah,
because apparently that does generate like some insane downforce, and then obviously you can just open that sucker up on the straights,
and then it creates lift.
Yep. So anyway, what I was going to say is F1 so kindly sent me an email or a notification about joining their fantasy thing.
Are you on their mail list?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not on anyone's mail list. Do not send me emails.
You're on mail lists.
I'm not.
You just can't disclose them publicly. What they are.
I am very selective.
Well, I'm the host of the show. I'm going to be in charge of all the shit that's going on.
You do need to be in the loop.
Now, I can't imagine how good or what an F1 fantasy league looks like. But I thought, hey, let's give it a crack before Melbourne.
Why not us?
We're professionals. Yeah. We've been watching the sport for long enough. So why not give it a crack? So I don't know anything about it. We'll just figure it out here. Yeah. And, if this tickles your fancy.
Yeah. If not, the meat and bones are done of this pod. We'll just be here rambling.
So the F1 app, it has a little how to play section. It's not very clear, which makes me think that this is very...
Very new, very beta.
Well, not new, just like there's not a lot of thought that's really involved in it. It's a bit different to like an NRL fantasy league or an NFL.
But again, it's been
whatever.
established for a long period of time.
So first of all, it's free to play, so great. Don't have to invest any money.
It's a great start.
So each team consists of 5 drivers and 2 constructors, and you have to stay within a $100 million cost cap.
So is that like 2 drivers and like 3 reserve drivers?
No. So you got to pick 5 drivers in total that are on the grid. So 22 drivers. You got to pick 5 of them,
and they make one team.
I guess so.
Does F1 even know how their sport works?
Well, I don't know what the thinking is. I don't know why you're picking 5 drivers,
That's
but
crazy.
for some reason you pick 5 drivers.
Okay, so is there 5 cars? Your team has 5 cars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, 5 drivers.
Nice.
And then you have 2 constructors. But the combination of all 7 of those picks has to equal under 100 million.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
What's the budget cap?
100 million.
I mean, in real life.
I don't know.
Okay. This sounds like when you play Monopoly
Yeah.
and the money figures are just wild. Just wild.
Like I said, I don't know if there's a lot of thought that's gone into this. So let's pick our team.
Right.
So we're going to pick the 5 drivers and the 2 constructors first. Now, I don't know what the benefit here is, if it's better to have like better drivers or better constructors. So how do you want to tackle this?
So what's the top driver worth? What's Max worth?
All right. So the top driver is, and I'm pretty sure I saw this before and you won't believe it.
Surely.
So Max Verstappen is worth 27.7 million. So he's the top. Very closely followed by George Russell at 27.4. And then Lando is 27.2.
Okay.
So they
seem to have based their numbers off of the odds in real life.
I think so.
Which is just...
Yeah. So I think right off the rip, we have to have Oscar in there. He's our guy.
Yes.
He's our guy.
He's the driver.
Yeah, so he's worth 25.5. So he's like quarter of the budget gone right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, how much is Kimi Antonelli?
So Kimi Antonelli is 23.3. So they've already accounted, and they're expecting to have quite a performance increase this season.
Okay, so I think what we need to do is shift to a constructor straight off the bat, knowing what we've left.
Yeah. Okay. So the top constructor is obviously McLaren at 28.9, Red Bull's 28.2, Ferrari's 23.3, and then all the rest kind of go down from there. So I'm thinking, I was thinking of maybe going for a cheeky Ferrari pull here.
Okay. So how much are they worth?
23.3. So they're
so that has to be out.
They're the cheapest of the big 4.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right. So lock them in. I mean, that's half our budget blown. So we're probably going to have to go pretty much the worst. So I wouldn't mind throwing Cadillac in here.
You want to go Cadillac? Because I was going to say...
Tell me they're cheap.
They are the cheapest. That's 6 million.
Okay. I think we have to do that. I think we have to throw a budget team in, and they're the most likely ones to throw a surprise.
So 2 things here, right? So you got 2 new teams on the grid, Cadillac and you got Audi. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing that worries me about Cadillac is Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. They're 2 drivers that don't really fill me with a whole lot of confidence.
Well, you would because you watch Drive to Survive. Mm-hmm. But he's F2 and F3 champ. I didn't know that.
You make a good point.
I'm just saying.
You make a good point compared to Audi, which is a team of 2 number 2 drivers. Of number 2s.
And let's not forget, they are Sauber. So the reason I think Cadillac is because they're a new team. They're a complete unknown.
Yeah.
Sauber have a history of being...
Who's the team principal again? He's fresh to the sport, yeah?
Who's this?
In Cadillac.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know him yet.
He's fresh to me.
All right. I agree. Let's do Cadillac then. So Ferrari and Cadillac.
That's our ringer. So have we got a running total?
So we've got 45.2 million left.
Okay. So we need 4 drivers.
To spend over 4 drivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's the cheapest driver? Straight off the bat. And what's he worth?
So the way that they put this is really annoying because they don't do it in... Oh, hang on. I think you can sort it by value. Yeah, you can sort it by value.
Okay. That makes sense.
Who do you reckon is the cheapest driver? Just by chance. Quick.
Sergio.
He's second cheapest. The cheapest is Bottas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense just with Cadillac being back there.
So should we add Bottas in there?
What are they worth?
5.9 and Sergio 6. No. Yeah. So
split the difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer to have Bottas in my team than Serge.
I agree. All right.
So
we got 2 Aussies.
Yeah. So where are we at? We must be able to afford another good driver.
So we've got 39.3 million and we need 3 more drivers.
Okay.
So is there any drivers that you think that stick out in your mind who's not named Max Verstappen? Because if we can fit him in there, we'll fit him in there. But is there any drivers that you can think that you are going to have a good season?
The problem is I'd say Kimi, but he's worth too much. He's worth too much.
He's 23, and if you're going to spend that, you just get a Max or a George.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly bang on the nose. Mm-hmm. Again, you need like a...
And Charles is 22.8, and Hamilton's is basically the same
but Kimi Kimi did better than Lewis last year.
Hear me out. Isaac Hadgel, 15.1 mil in a Red Bull.
That second
How
part,
do you feel?
That second part scares me a lot.
Which part?
The Red Bull part.
The Red Bull part. I reckon he's going to be the most successful number 2 driver since Danny Rick. And Danny Rick wasn't really a number 2 driver. He was technically number 1 who then left. He left as a number 1, all right?
He left on high.
You can't convince me otherwise.
No, you're right.
So I reckon he's going to be the most successful number 2 driver.
I mean, just quietly, real quick. I couldn't believe Christian Horner was still blaming Sergio.
Sorry. Yes.
In episode 1. I was like, is this guy serious?
Yeah,
Have you not seen what
really
happened?
hates Sergio, doesn't he? Yeah.
God.
He was like, thanks for inviting me onto Netflix. Fuck Sergio. Sorry, I retract my Hadjar thing. We might keep him there. Carlos Sainz. I got to have him.
See.
Yeah. Williams are on an upwards trend. He's only worth 11.8.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
He's the better of the 2 Williams guys.
Gosh, yes.
He's got to be in there.
Yeah. No, lock him in.
Okay.
I like that. So what do we got?
So we need 2 more drivers. We've got 27.5 mil.
So Max is out.
Max is out.
So I don't mind. So what's Bortoletto worth?
Oh, okay. You're
Well, just hear me out. What is he worth? Tick tock.
Sorry. They've got him. I'm looking for steak green.
Yeah, of course. But they're Audi.
And he's red now.
Yeah.
6.4.
Okay, so he's pretty cheap. So what did you say we have 27?
We've got 27.
So let's say. So who we got for about that 20 mil mark?
The cheapest is Lewis Hamilton at 22.5.
Okay. So we can't afford that. We can't afford the both of them.
Yeah.
So who's under Lewis?
Isaac Hadjar. 15.
Okay. So maybe. Okay, look him in then. Because then what do we have?
Hadjar?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do we
we got 12.4 mil.
12.
So we literally can afford. This is who's left with us.
Or do we upgrade Cadillac? Oh no, because we still need another driver, don't we?
We still need.
I was going to say, well, we can get hypothetically, we can get who did I say, Bortoletto, and then we'd have an extra 6 to put on a team.
All right, so this is the way we do. Yes, we either upgrade team and then we go Bortoletto and maybe like Fernando Alonso, maybe just a cheeky like
that Aston Martin. Eh?
You don't not liking what you're seeing.
I believe.
So then who do you pick?
Well, I think Bortoletto. I mean, I don't know how all this works. I don't know what they're expecting from because you can't afford to pick fucking Max and Oscar and George.
Right. So Bortoletto, and we got 6 million. So take away Cadillac. So we got 12 million to spend on a team. So that gives us Williams, Aston Martin, Haas, Audi, Racing Bulls, and Cadillac. Do we go Williams? They consistently scored points last season. Williams.
I think either Williams or Haas, but I think Haas is a bit more of a scary pick.
So let's max it out. Williams.
Yeah,
spend all 12 million.
Yeah.
All right, lock it in. So hit done. I was supposed to screen record all of this. I forgot.
Yeah.
So I will.
The voices in the words.
I will screenshot this right now.
I wonder. Like I know we don't know how this works yet. Mm-hmm. Is it a double fail picking a Williams and an Albon? A Sainz. Because if he has a problem, does it bring down?
It's a double win, right?
Yeah, like on this podium. Yeah, that's what I want. And we'll see. We'll play. I'm happy with that pick, so we'll play it out.
Okay.
See how this thing even works.
So we've managed to use every single dollar.
That's just perfect, right?
Yeah. So Piastri, Bottas, Sainz, Hadjar, and Bortoletto are our 5 drivers. Now, I assume that they've got to score points. And I think this is only for Australia. So I think you pick each round.
Oscar's going to be heavily carrying.
Yeah. And Ferrari and Williams are our teams. So hit continue.
I feel definitely more comfortable about the teams.
Okay.
Than the
So
drivers.
you can select a driver to boost. That's exciting. Yep. 2 times boost.
Okay.
It's got to be Piastri, right?
Yes. He's the number 1 driver.
So we'll boost Piastri. So that's great.
Super great.
Now, our team name, it's obviously boxboxbanter.
Yeah, of course. Don't think twice.
Save that. And we got to complete our profile. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Country of residence, favorite team, favorite driver. This is all easy stuff, but not exciting to listen to. So,
because everything has been exciting to listen to this point. We will definitely leave it there.
I enjoyed,
I enjoyed that too. That was actually
shitting on Drive to Survive, and we offered some constructive criticism.
How can things? You know what? I'm pretty confident that I helped revolutionise the F1 game. This is just
explain.
Quick. Yeah. I used to play them. I had F1 2010 and I had them up until maybe F1 2018 and then I took a break and then I've had like 1 or 2 since then. Mm-hmm. And I remember F1, one of them, and because like I remember back then there was very basic. You did 5 seasons and then your career was over, and then you could restart. But like that was literally very basic, and the games were very basic. And I remember writing him an email because I raced on the sim, and after like 4 or 5
You wrote
years,
him an email.
I wrote him an email.
Wow, you were passionate.
Because after 3, 4, 5 of these games, very repetitive, not really career based back then. You just drive and nothing changes. Wrote him an email and a whole list of things that I wanted and what may
Look at you nerding out.
Yeah, what may like just give you a bit more depth in the game. Little things, being able to do the outlap, things that would just bore me shitless now. Being able to pit yourself, all these things. Can't remember, a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was probably the last game I played. It must maybe been that 2014, 15, whatever.
Like for a while, yep.
Yeah, so then I signed off. And then whatever the next game was I got, all of a sudden, all of these things were like implemented in the game.
Right.
So that's my. I'm pretty confident I helped reshape that game.
Oh, EA, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that
Wasn't
valuable
EA
insight.
back then? Codemasters.
That was a Codemaster. Oh, wow, I forgot about Codemasters, eh?
So
well.
Codemasters, you're welcome for my input as a vivid, and I'm pretty sure I wrote it out as FYI.
Yeah.
I've finished all these games to this point. I've mastered all 5 seasons.
And you give me shit for not having anything to do.
I'm a 23-time world champion in the world of Codemasters Formula 1 games. I play with the assists.
Yeah, F1
off.
2010.
Yeah. I play with the assists off. I don't fuck around here.
Yeah.
No racing line for me. I've got cred.
I've won the 2010 championship 23 times.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I've rerun the 2011 one twice.
I've been thinking about doing some F1 26 streams because I when the game came out, I picked it up and I quite enjoyed it, and I put some time into it. But I haven't played it for a couple of months, so maybe I'll reinstall and we'll get some streams going up for little 1v1.
Yeah. The games and careful what you wish for, because now like we played a little bit of 20. We played 25.
We had a good run of 25.
I think we finished a season.
We did.
Maybe.
Yep. It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah,
You
and the
carried.
games, because it's like an arcade sim mashup.
Maybe to you, who does sim racing semi-professionally, but to me, I'm like hanging on for my dear life.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So I'm like, I play it and I go, I just want a simple game. Like, I don't like all the overcomplicated stuff now. I just want to turn it on. Like, I just want to veg out on the couch.
That email I wrote to you 10 years ago, disregard.
Redact it.
Yeah, change all that, revert it back.
Yeah, let me just...
Auto-pitting.
Exactly. Let me just rock up and do a race and make the AI easy and just be Forza.
All right, let's wrap this up. So real quick, we're going to do a live stream watch along. So if you can't afford to go to the F1,
or if you can't afford KO,
or if you can't,
it's expensive. We get it.
Yep,
we get it.
Watch us. Watch the race.
Watch us and watch it.
Yes, that's just as entertaining.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, we'll commentate it. You won't be able to see it.
Spare yourself the the frustration of Sky Sports commentary. And listen to us just shit talk the F1 for a bit.
If you can afford KO, put it on, mute it so you can hear us with our 2 cents.
Ask us questions. What color underwear is Timmy wearing?
And I'll expose it.
He's showing you right now.
Yep, maybe. I don't know.
We had a few comments last week, a lot of thigh. Right. That's why people are tuning in, I'm pretty sure. They enjoy
go shorter
the
next week. I got shorter.
I appreciate it.
And if the live's not up, those tech fails. Sorry about it.
Yeah, if you don't see a live stream notification, it's not there. Something went wrong.
Yeah, tech failure. And sorry,
we don't have Chris anymore. So
we're on our own here.
So real quick, off the cuff, who's winning Melbourne Grand Prix? I don't care who comes second or third. No one gives a shit. Who's winning the Melbourne Grand Prix? You're putting $100 down right now. Who's winning it?
Oscar.
Yeah, I agree.
Oscar.
I think he wants revenge.
Oscar/George.
I agree.
Yeah. Realistic George, Oscar hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you Sunday.
Live.
2 p.m.-ish. We think.
So there'll be another update probably.
There'll be another update. Otherwise, we'll see you again next week.
Because the race is live at 3?
Yeah. So I believe so. 3 local time Australia.
Local AEDT.
Yeah. So otherwise, we'll see you back here on the episode 3 of the podcast where we debrief Melbourne round 1. Looking forward to it.
Finally, get away from these pre-season eps.
Yeah.
Get into the real thing.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. See you then.
GG's.
All right.
Catch ya.
Goodbye.